Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Amazing Seller Podcast. This is episode number 754 and session number 237 of Ask Scott. This is where I answer your questions here on the podcast, and I do it every single week. We're going to do it again here today. And if you have a question that you want to have featured on an upcoming Ask Scott session, all you have to do is head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do it there. Yes, there's a variety of other ways that you can submit a question. I usually will go over to my YouTube channel and I will go through some of the comments there. And that's actually where today's question came from, which is all about email follow-up sequences for sales. And it's kind of funny because the last few episodes have been really geared towards email follow-up or email marketing and really building the email list and the asset that you're building, but also how to use it, how to leverage it in a good way that's going to not just, serve you, but it's going to serve the people that are raising their hand. I can't stress that enough. We want to make sure that we're delivering value to our market. We want to be the best resource in your market or in the market online. Like, that's what we want. That is our goal. Okay. So just remember, those are people on the other end of that email, and we need to remember that. Okay. So always treat them with respect and, don't take advantage of people, which I'm sure you are not going to do. So just, again, little side note there. All right. So if you missed episode 753, I would strongly recommend going back and listening to that. I cover some strategies that you can use, whether it's now, because we're approaching, fourth quarter and we're in it kind of, but Black Friday will really kick things off. Depending on when you're listening to this, Black Friday is approaching quickly. Next Friday, actually. So this Friday here that this is airing is the Friday before, which in that podcast episode 753, I talk all about really setting the stage, meaning letting people know before the special actually is happening. You have to do that. And I go through some strategies on how you can really, really do a great job getting ready for a promotion, not just Black Friday, but any promotion. Speaking of things that are happening, I wanted to also, before we dive into this question, and I've got a whole thing that I want to share with you here, what we decided to do is the day after Black Friday, we are doing something pretty awesome. And that is Brand Creators Academy is currently closed and will not be opening officially again until January 6th, 2020. Mark your calendar. But if you want to join before January 6th, we are going to be opening it for just 24 hours. Okay. The enrollment will be opening for 24 hours. So those of you that missed out the last time, a lot of you emailed me and I've already told you, listen, we're going to be opening for 24 hours. That will be the time. But if you wait, well, then it'll be January 6th. But Brand Creators Academy, for those of you who don't know, it is our community, our tribe of brand creators, and we are actually documenting a live case study inside of the academy right now. We're just starting to get into the list building side of things, but we're really just outlining and detailing everything. And not just ours, but a lot of people in there are sharing their markets, their niches, and we're able to now really tailor some of this training towards them specifically, but also everyone learns through that process. So again, enough on that. If you're at all interested, and if you're listening to this before Black Friday, we are opening Saturday, November 30th, okay, for 24 hours. Enrollment for Brand Creators Academy will be open. After that, January 6th, 2020. All right. So just to kind of throw it out there, if you're all interested, brandcreators.com is where you'll get all the details. There's free training there. So even if this is after the fact, there's free training there. There's a brand growth checklist there that you can go through. And then also there's 2 videos that I put together, some training videos that'll help you in the meantime and really open up your eyes to how you can grow and really build your brand. All right. So that is what we were talking about there as far as our upcoming special, but you guys should be thinking about yours. What is yours for your business? Really start to think about that. And that's going to lead very, very nicely into what I want to talk about here today, because I want to go through this email follow-up process with you, okay? And the reason why I want to do this is because it's so important. And the direct question that was asked was, what is the best email follow-up sequence for sales? And that's really it's a big question, and there's a lot of different directions that we can go. but I want to give you the process that I've followed over and over and over again. And if you follow this, you'll have a much greater chance of having a winning sequence. And if you're just tuning in and you're like, Scott, what is an email follow-up sequence? It's really an ongoing conversation that you can be having with people. And the cool thing about it, and I'm not going to get into all the specifics about like the autoresponder versus the broadcast and all of that, but basically we're able to follow up with people that raise their hand. Okay. And there's a variety of different ways you can get them to raise their hand. One of them is a contest, having a contest, which again, if you haven't went through our free list building training, head over to theamazingseller.com/build list. And right there, I'll walk you through exactly what that looks like in that free training, all the different tools that we use to make that happen. And you don't need a ton, to be honest with you. All right. So let's just kind of dig in. All right. So this is what it looks like. And there's really like 3 parts to this. Okay. So number one is, and this is really a question to the person asking this question, like, what is the best email follow-up sequence for sales? Okay. So number one is, have you built up some goodwill with your list? All right. Now, what does that mean? Well, have you built your list and immediately pitched them and said, hey, buy something? Like, that's not really delivering goodwill. It's kind of like you going out on a date and saying, hey, you want to get married? Or going out for coffee with someone, maybe it's a new friend and you go, hey, you mind while I got you? Would you want to buy, I sell watches. You want to buy a watch? Like, that would be weird, right? So you have to understand when you're building a list, these are people, okay? You are most likely on my email list. I know that you are a real person. I treat you as a real person when I'm writing my emails. Okay. And that's because that's what I truly believe. And if you're just out there trying to make a buck, then it's not going to go that well. All right. It's going to get burnt out. Your list is going to get burnt out, meaning it's not going to want to even pay attention anymore. Your open rates are going to plummet and it's just not going to be good. All right. So you have to build up the goodwill and you got to do it from a good place, right? Like you got to do it because you actually care, right? So building up that goodwill is so important. And so many people try to rush that part of the process. All right. Now there's ways that you can soft pitch along the way. And I actually go through that in episode 753. And one of those ways is like on the thank you page after someone, we call it opting in. When someone enters their name and email address, there's a thank you page that either says, hey, thanks. We sent you an email with your download, or thanks, you just entered the contest. Share this with friends and, you can get more entries. And while I have you, we're running a 25% off special for all of our new subscribers or all of our new awesome people, like something like that. That would be a soft sell. Okay. You didn't come at them hard. You just said, hey, I'm giving you something because I know you're interested and, we're rewarding people. Like how many times have you signed up for an email newsletter to get the $25 off credit or something, right? I mean, you've done that, right? So it's not like it's a hard sell, but it is a way that you could sell without being kind of, sleazy about it, right? But it is so important to build up that goodwill in your sequence, okay? This is really, really critical in order for any of this to work, okay? Now, the other thing is immediately to build that goodwill is sending them some content in the email or to a blog or website, okay? I like doing both. And that's why I like building out a site that has content, because then I can always refer to the content, right? So I'll give you an example. Today, the time of writing or recording this, I wrote an email. On Fridays, I always write an email to my TAS list, okay? And I usually will give them a piece of advice, or I'll tell them something that happened and how I can kind of spin that into a lesson for people, right? So I can teach in the email, and then I can elaborate on maybe a blog post, right? Or a podcast episode, right? I'll probably write an episode or write an email talking about what I'm talking about right here and link over to the audio version, right? So this way here, someone can listen to it. Okay. So you can do it in both places. The cool thing about creating content on your website and on your blog is now you have a place to send people. Okay. And then that adds the goodwill too. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Number 2, okay, in this process is create an amazing offer. If you're going to get someone to raise their hand, with maybe the contest, right? And they're like, wow, this is awesome. This company's doing something amazing. They're giving away a $200, prize. That's awesome, right? And then if you have an amazing offer on the back end, like, hey, for limited time, 50% off of our tackle box, right? Whatever, right? Create an amazing offer that makes them say, holy crap, that's awesome, right? So that's the big secret there, right? Create an amazing offer. You have to be willing to not make money necessarily on the first interaction. It's got to come later, okay? And a lot of people that only have one product, it's hard for them because they're like, I need to make that sale, right? That's why we want to have these other assets in place. We want content on our blog and on our website so we can continually send people there. We want to also talk about affiliate products that we don't maybe sell, but we have other people that do that we really think are great. Again, I'm going to maybe sell fishing gear, but I'm not going to sell kayaks, right? But kayaks could be part of the fishing world. Well, I'm going to refer people to the kayak person or the company, right? And I can earn a commission if that's on my blog. So anyway, you always want to be having the opportunity to create content that you can send people to, but then also that amazing offer can be woven in, okay? Number 3, and this is a big one, create your email schedule, okay? So if you are going to do a promotion after you've built up, that goodwill, right? And you've really kind of nurtured the relationship a little bit, okay? And we're approaching Black Friday. So we want to, number one, we want to let them know that there's an offer, okay? So that would be, let's say day 1, I'm going to give you 5 days. Day 1, let them know, plus you're going to let them know that it's a limited time offer, okay? Hey, we're doing something. It's happening tomorrow, or it's happening at the end of the week on Friday. This is what's going to happen. And we're going to send you an email once it's available. Okay. So day 1 is really like setting the stage. Day 2, you're going to send the email and say, hey, guess what? It's live. Here we go. Congratulations. You're on our, exclusive VIP list or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. And then you send them that email. Okay. Day 3 would send an email reminder about the day before email, right? That you just sent. Now, if you're like, well, Scott, I'm sending a lot of emails here. Aren't they going to get mad at me? Well, to be quite honest with you, some people might. And guess what? They're probably not the right people on your list. Okay. So this is a way that we can kind of clean our list in a way. But the other thing is if you are just doing this, like you just built your list like yesterday, and now you're going to do this right on the back end. Yeah, that's not good. I wouldn't advise that. Okay. So don't do that. But if you're at all like, I don't know if I want to send that many emails, well, then here's what I would say. If you don't want to send day 3 email to remind them, then at least send to your unopens. Okay. So people that didn't open your email from the day before, at least send those people that email. Okay. Because they didn't get it, or they got it, but they didn't open it. Okay. So just another little side tip there. All right. Day 4, social proof or example of the product being used, and remind them that it's ending soon. So if you don't have any social proof yet, we'll just show an example of the product being used, okay? By you or someone else. Just make sure that you can demonstrate the product, okay? Or that it actually works, okay? And the social proof side would be is if you have a Facebook page or even an email and you've asked for feedback and someone's holding your product or someone has wrote you about the product, you want to copy that in. Maybe take a screenshot of it and put it in that email to show that your product is being used, right? That's what we call social proof, okay? And then you also want to drop a little reminder in there. Oh, by the way, special ends tomorrow night. Right? And then day 5 is ending tonight. Okay. And you want to send that in the morning. Okay. And then generally what's going to happen is, and if you've done this right, is you're going to see that your sales are going to probably come in the most at the last day. It's just the way it works. And I've seen it over and over and over again. Okay. I mean, heck, I just seen it when we did Brand Creators Academy. We did that. Let's see, going back now, probably 3-4 weeks now since we opened. And our last day was when people were kind of on the fence and they're like, I'm going to do it. Right. It's just the way that it works. And I've done it in physical products and I've done it in digital products. I've done it across the board. It just works. Okay. Now the other thing that we do, which you can do, you don't have to do, but you're definitely going to see a higher conversion, but you also need to really evaluate your list. Okay. Have you nurtured your list? Have you delivered a lot of goodwill along the way? If yes, then you can afford to do this. If you haven't, then you might want to skip it and wait till you have built up some of that. But on day 5, we're actually going to send 3 emails. Okay. We're going to send the first one in the morning. Okay. So people are going to work in the morning and we usually go by Eastern time. So probably it's going to go out between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, at the latest 9 o'clock. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send another email later in the afternoon. Okay. In case you missed it, email. Okay. Hey, in case you missed it, we sent an email this morning. I know how busy the mornings are. Just want to let you know tonight's the last night for our special promotion that we're doing for you guys, right? That's it. And then the last one, and this is optional, but we do this one 3 hours before it ends. Okay. Another little nudge. Hey, I know I'm sending you 3 emails in one day. If you've received them all today, I don't normally do this, but our special is ending. And I wanted to make sure you had a chance to see it before this ends. You know, that's it. Done. And you're all over. So right there, that I just literally drew that out for you. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you got to go back to the first thing that I talked about. Have you built up some goodwill with your list? That's a critical question. You got to ask yourself. You know, when I started this podcast, I recorded 56 episodes before I ever made a dime on this podcast. Okay. 56. Okay. In my photography online business, that one there, I was probably producing content for 6 months before I ever made $1. Okay. Cause you're nurturing, you're helping, you're being you're being valuable to your people, the people that are raising their hand. Right. And the best way to do this is by delivering content. And that's why in Brand Creators Academy, that's what we're focusing on. We're building out our brands with content, with email, and we're really building the resources for the people that are interested in our market. And then the products and the affiliate stuff and the ad revenue, that's all coming because traffic's coming over to our resource. Okay. And then they're going to tell people about it. So I can't stress that enough. It's so important. All right. So the bottom line is you have to plan the promotion and then send emails, but you definitely need to make sure that the goodwill is in place. Okay. Now, again, if you spread this out over 5 days, you should definitely send to the unopens after 24 hours on 1 or 2 of those emails. Okay. Because they didn't open it. So they didn't see it. Okay. And I just also want to just kind of end this episode with email is still effective. And to me, it is underutilized. It so is. And if you understand that email is still very effective, I mean, heck, we're seeing in the brand that I am partnered with, we send 3 emails a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And we send to the unopens every single 24-hour period after. All right. And that list is about 34,000. I think we're approaching 35,000 now. And we are sending 3 emails a week and we're delivering content and we're adding in the PS a lot of times is an offer of some kind. And I'm telling you right now, we're still getting amazing, way above standard in the industry as far as opens and clicks. Our clicks are through the roof. It's insane. Like, how would you like to be able to send out an email and have 1,200 or 1,500 people click on a link inside your email versus, maybe you send an email and you get 5 people that click, right? We're talking, that's clicks. Opens, we're talking, that's in the thousands. Like we're talking generally 8,000, 9,000, okay? And that's at any given time. That's people seeing it, and then how many people are actually taking action to click on a link that they're interested in. And the cool thing is when we do this, I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, guys, but I don't normally do this on an Ask Scott, but I have to here because I'm excited about this. Is the other cool thing is we can drop in 2 different links, and then we can see what link got the most attention, what one got the most clicks. So we can kind of do a little bit of a survey in a sense without doing a survey, just by what people are clicking on. And we can also see how many people are actually clicking in the PS of the email, which is interesting. Okay. So there's a lot that you can do with email. A lot of people aren't utilizing it. They're still thinking to themselves, I got to build a social media channel. I got to double down on Instagram. To me, email is not going anywhere. And there's so many different parts of it that we can utilize. And one of them that we didn't even talk about is when I build that list, I can then upload it to Facebook and I can do retargeting. I can do custom audiences. I can do lookalike audiences, so much stuff. All right. So 2 things. Okay. Definitely start building that email list. And if you haven't done so already, go check out theamazingseller.com/build list. And that will get you started really, really quickly. And the other thing is, if you want to join Brand Creators Academy and you don't want to wait till January 6th, depending on when you're listening to this, well, then definitely make sure that you're on the list over at brandcreators.com. There's free resources there for you to go through, and they will get you up to speed very, very quickly. But then we will be notifying you when we open the doors for that 24 hours, and you can join us inside of Brand Creators Academy, where we're just having an awesome time. The community is on fire. There's so much conversation. This is the most engaged group I've ever had, ever. Okay. And it's just amazing. And I'm having a blast doing it. So if you're interested, brandcreators.com. And yeah, guys, if you have a question that you want to ask and have me answer, just head over to theamazingseller.com/ask and you can do it over there. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day. I'll see you right back here on the next episode.